Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So, heads up, if you can hear birds in the background, it's because it is too hot to be able to record this with my windows closed. It is excruciatingly hot today. So anyway, this one is Amovehacker versus Ericrastic. So of course, Ericrastic, ever-chosen champion for the third ever-chosen? I don't know, I was there, I should remember these things. But anyway, ever-chosen champion. And Amovehacker. So Amovehacker here is playing as the Lizardmen, and he's up against the Skaven. So tough matchup, tough opponent. So I'm really interested to see what he's going to get up to. So here you can see skink cohorts in the front. It's good to have just a bunch of skinks and saurus, and he has a bunch of skinks and saurus. These guys are really good, like, to have mixed in this matchup, because the skinks can chase off a lot of the cheaper units. Saurus warriors will match up brilliantly against any of the infantry. It's just very good, reliable front line. So, over here, also got the cohort of Sotek, which of course are unbreakable, and their armor piercing can help against things like storm vermin and the like, so that's nice. And just the fact they're unbreakable, it means they're not going to get gunned down and end up fleeing before they can get to the front line. Here as well, a feral Bastillodon, nice to have a bit of additional terror, and that good armor piercing anti-infantry, because that will help against just standard storm vermin as well. Also, the Skink Priest of Beast for the transformation of Kadon. So it is nice as well to be able to summon the odd Manticore, because that can really get into the back line and cause some problems. Or at the very least, it'll get summoned and then the guns will shoot at it a lot, and then it, instead of getting onto a Lord or Hero, it'll just dive into the front line. But at least it's kept the guns occupied for a bit. Also here you can see a Saurus Old Blood. Love the Saurus Old Blood. I'm sure he's got the Horn of Kygor, right? Nope, Amulet of Itzel. Ah, no Horn of Kygor, interesting. So he's got the Amulet of Itzel, so huge damage resistance there for 18 seconds, which is very handy, really helps keep him going. Also, there's, yep, here we go. There's the Umbral Tide. So these guys, brilliant missile attacks, but they're quite short range, and they are quite flimsy, so this is quite a gamble. But if they're able to be sort of kept safe, they can just do unbelievable damage. They are very, very handy for that. And they are, well, there we go. They do have perfect vigor, so they won't have any vigor loss, so they'll stay fresh right up until the end, which is very, very nice indeed. Also, there's a feral Carnosaur, so plenty of anti-large here with the Old Blood and the feral Carnosaur. Great for harassing Doom Wheels, and there's still quite a lot of things in the front line that can harass the back line, which is really nice. Also, there are a couple of Cold One Riders on the edges for some extra mobility, and just more stuff that can bog down Doom Wheels and kill them. Speaking of, yep, Ikit Claw. So Ikit Claw here, he's got the brass orb, he's on a Doom Wheel, so very, very sturdy, right nuisance this guy, so very, very good lord. He's also got Warp Lightning and Howling Warp Gale, so if it's a bunch of Pterodon riders trying to sneak in the back, Howling Warp Gale will shut them down and the guns can just shoot them before they can kill the guns. Super useful to have. It is great insurance against that kind of move, because yeah, Pterodon riders, brilliant for harassing that back line and getting rid of anything vital early. Also, Wheels of Doom, so another Doom Wheel. So Regiment Renown, so extra missile damage, which is really cool to see. A couple of Rat Ogres to have some additional mass, really good for defending the back line. Because here you can see he's got 2 Poison Wing Globadiers, and he's got some Warplock Jezzails. He has 3 units of those, so very scary. The rest are just mostly Clan Rats, so nothing too fancy there. Nothing too fancy, but he does also have this Assassin for, let's see, is it Trophy Heads? Did you just bring the Assassin's Trophy? Yeah, he's just got the Assassin's Trophy. He doesn't have the Rival Hide Talisman for those nerfs, so bit of a shame. I do like that ability. So let's speed things up and see what happens. You can see guns are starting to fire in, and yeah, Ikit Claw charged right in, getting some Warp Lightning in there, and it is just delaying. That's what these units are doing. The Doom Wheels are just trying to push in really aggressively, try and sneak in and out, make sure they don't get bogged down, but still be on the offensive the whole time, because it just buys more time for the guns. But Amovehacker knows that's not a good move, so he's going to keep pushing up. He's not going to let these guys delay. He's going to want to get in there as much as he can. A Cold-Blooded stopping the Bastillodon from rampaging and running directly at the guns. Very useful there because they are taking a lot of damage. And now you can see the Old Blood is taking some damage too. Here you can see the Cold One Riders are sneaking around the outside, and if they can get into these Warplock Jezzails, that'll be a massive win. And over here, Umbral Tide blasting this Wheels of Doom that's already suffered quite a bit of damage. So very nice there. Now a bit of terror hitting these Skaven slaves, and the units can start pushing in. Rat Ogres with their mass, they are going to help try and bog things down, and it looks like they have got the Saurus Old Blood caught up. And they aren't as tall as the Saurus Old Blood, so he's going to get shot at. Beautiful Warp Lightning doing a ton of work to these Saurus warriors. That was a real good get for Ericrastic. Just getting that incremental damage into these expensive units that can smash all of his front line. It's very good. Those are very dangerous, those Saurus warriors to him. So here, Cold One Riders getting to the Warplock Jezzails. They are being chased around, but to very little effect. They will get shut down. Over here, though, the Saurus Old Blood has been taking an absolute beating. It is not looking good for him. Bastillodon, again, absolute beating. And now Umbral Tide is starting to blast into these rat ogres, and that will do a ton of work. And with the Death Frenzy on them, you really want to shut them down quickly. So that is a very nice play. These guys getting broken super quickly. Skink Cohort chasing off those Skaven slaves, which is actually better for Aerocrastic. Over here, though, the Feral Carnosaur has managed to get onto the Wheels of Doom, and it's being torn apart. So Wheels of Doom absolutely obliterated there. And the Cold One Riders have managed to deal with the Warp Lock Jezzails, and they're into the next unit, and there's nothing that can really push in and quick enough to deal with this stuff. Cohort of Sotek being unbreakable, they don't care that they're being chased around by a terror-causing anti-infantry unit. They're going to keep pushing, and it is going to cut into these Warp Lock Jezzails a lot, and that is a huge amount of damage potential. They still have half their ammo left. And over here, Assassin's Trophy, debuffing the Saurus Old Blood, so he needs to get out of combat quickly. Here, the Umbral Tide pushing in to try and get some shots into Ickiclaw, and they do get some really good shots into Ickiclaw. That's about, what, 20% of his health gone with that volley? Amazing. Here, Cold One Riders still pushing in, so their armor piercing means they will be good against the Poison Wing Globadiers as well. Poison Wing Globadiers, it's the armor that keeps them alive. They have very little melee defense of 26, but the armor will tend to keep them going. So with armor piercing units like this, it's brilliant. Another Warp Lightning, and that is pretty devastating for the Cold One Riders. They're all just getting charged by a bunch of armor-piercing stuff. I mean, all these Rat Ogres charging in is going to do great, but it is keeping them busy for the Umbral Tide to start blasting stuff. So Ickiclaw suffering quite a bit, and the Saurus Old Blood suddenly a lot fewer threats kicking around. Far fewer threats. And now Ickiclaw is suffering even more damage using unlimited power, which is risky when you're that injured. Unlimited power can miscast and you can cause damage to yourself. So you get more magic, but you do hurt as a result of it. Sometimes it's a miscast chance. You might roll the dice and you'll be okay. You might not. It's risky. So here, Umbral Tide having to push out because the Assassin is chasing them down. So Saurus Warriors pushing in. The Saurus Warriors will actually match up great against the Assassin because the Assassin doesn't have much armor and the Saurus Warriors have very good weapon strength. So they can actually do very well there. So, way over here, you can see Cold One Riders had fled, but they've rampaged and are running back in. And now the Saurus Old Blood, super injured, trying to finish off these Poison Wing Globadiers, but now the Rat Ogres are charging in. And the Cohort of Sotek are being chased down. And sadly, yep, because the cavalry got caught out, these guys couldn't get shattered. So they are back for quite low models, but still plenty of ammo. And let's be honest, they don't need much ammunition anymore. Saurus Old Blood is really suffering here. He is really suffering. So, over here you can see Saurus Warriors dealing with the Clan Rats. Way over here, the Wheels of Doom has returned. So that's something. And in the woods, you can see the Feral Carnosaur is still causing havoc. So Saurus Old Blood still running for his life. And the Umbral Tide still doing pretty well. Still doing pretty well. Nice high model count at 20 still. But, yeah, Saurus Warriors are struggling against the Rat Ogres. The Rat Ogres are going to be very good against those. So, yeah, the Carnosaur needs to do some work here. He is managing to terrify some units. He is getting rid of some of these really decent anti-large threats. But he needs to deal with the Rat Ogres quickly, because the Rat Ogres can pin down any of these units and do some really good work. So you've got to get rid of them. So some terror hitting there, lovely. And now the Feral Carnosaur is what's getting shot at. He has enough health to get shot at a bit, certainly far more than the Saurus Old Blood. So this wasting of ammunition, I mean, it's not really a waste, you've got to kill the Carnosaur, but you're trading health between your units, you know, it works out better, right? That way you still have 2 units rather than a dead Lord and a very healthy Carnosaur that's going to run away if the Lord dies, you know? It's good to spread out the damage, and so feeding them the Carnosaur is good there. So he has Rampage, but he's doing a ton of work to the Rat Ogres. Sadly, Death Frenzy has been used, and that will bolster these units a fair bit, but it's not overcast, it's just on the 1 unit, and it looks like they will terrify soon, but no, they're still holding in there. They are still holding in there. Oh, of course, it's immune psychology as well with Death Frenzy, so they're not going to terrify. I always forget about that. I always forget about that, even though it's super useful for Skaven to be immune psychology. So here you can see the Saurus Old Blood really suffering, and there's still some ammunition left. Still some ammo left. You're trying to bob and weave to waste as many shots as possible, because to be fair, every shot that misses this Saurus Old Blood is a shot that won't hit something else that's in combat, so it's all good. But, he's broken. He's broken. And these guys have a couple shots left. 4 shots left. Yeah, with him running in a straight line, it doesn't look good for him. He might be able to get behind the hill. Oh, nope. Feral Carnosaur is the priority now. Because, of course, the Feral Carnosaur is about to eat them all. So, yep, definitely worth killing him. Also, the Feral Carnosaur will mess up Ickiclaw. So over here, the Umbral Tide are under a lot of pressure. Suddenly, the Skaven have a ton of infantry left, and Amovehacker doesn't have much left. He's finally realised the Skink Cohort were running off into the distance. It would have been great if these guys had joined the fight again sooner, but this is rough. This is real rough. Cold One Riders charging in, trying to slow these guys down to allow the Umbral Tide to get out of there. They do have some good armor piercing, but I mean, Ikit Claw is pretty sturdy. He is pretty sturdy. You really want to shoot him, and there goes the Lord. There goes the Saurus Old Blood. Not good. Not good at all. But Feral Carnosaur managed to shatter a bunch of these units. Lovely. Unfortunately, still Poison Wing Globadiers here that can do a ton of damage if they're allowed to sit and fire at something like a Feral Carnosaur. So over here looks like a Warp Lightning, trying to time that to hit the Skink Cohort, and it did get him a bit, And Umbral Tide still getting chased down. They are just so flimsy in melee. You really don't want them being chased down by something like this. You've got to have units to screen them and protect them. And now you've got Clan Rats running in. So here, Feral Carnosaur has managed to shatter these Poison Wing Globadiers, so he needs to get in here. He needs to get in around the back. That Feral Carnosaur could kill Ikit Claw. It could. It absolutely could, but it needs to get to him first. And the Assassin is still going, which is a real problem. Jezzail's just run into melee, but the Skink Cohort just aren't having it. They're surrounded, and they are suffering. And this is a brilliant use of numbers by Aerocrastic. Just make sure to get those surrounds in, you know. You might not have anything valuable, but you can still get a surround. And leadership is quite low anyway, because the Lord recently died. So it is good. Great use of your numbers there. Great use of that. So now it's basically just down to the Umbral Tide and the Feral Carnosaur. Everything else is being chased off. It's not looking great. It's not looking great all of a sudden. These are some powerful units though. I mean, the Feral Carnosaur could easily kill Ikit Claw. And the Umbral Tide, a couple volleys into this group, and you could see them break very, very fast. The Assassin, probably going to have to cycle charge him, annoyingly. He's a bit of a nuisance to kill sometimes. You know, you hit him and he can go flying when you're hitting him with a big unit. He's very slippery like that. So anyway, units starting to move in. Find a nice place, and they're going to start moving back a bit. Nope, forwards a bit, back a bit. They don't know where they're going. Where are you going, boys? Where are you going? So they're going to pull back a bit, get some more room, I guess. And here the Skinks did return, so the Skinks can start running in. And a little hit on the Assassin. Feral Carnosaur keeping them busy. And now, ooh, this is the tough bit. Yep, Death Frenzy. None of these guys are going to terrify anymore, and that Feral Carnosaur has almost had it. But a beautiful volley into Ikit Claw, doing some serious work. But this is a lot of units, and with Death Frenzy, they're all going to be very, very scary. Got to get away from them. Cannot let these units catch you. You've just got to wait out the timer on that spell, because there is no way you want to fight them with a massive buff like that. But that buff, I think, did get a couple hits on the Carnosaur, but obviously Amovehacker wasn't going to stay in combat with these guys. That would have been suicide. So here you can see the Feral Carnosaur moving away, Umbral Tide moving away, but he's luring him all towards the hill, which is actually quite nice. You know, some good charges from the Umbral Tide once they run out of ammo. Down this hill, they could get some good hits on them. Sadly though, Ikit Claw is keeping his distance. And really, I think the Feral Carnosaur just needs to hunt him down. He is slightly quicker. But it looks like he's trying to break the rest of the units first. So he's doing some work, but now that he's rampaged, there's nothing that he can do. You can't micro the Feral Carnosaur anymore. You just can't. There's no cold-blooded left, because none of the Lords or Heroes are alive anymore. So here you can see the Umbral Tide charging in, and oh, Warp Lightning, I think, is going to get some hits on them. Oh, might have just missed. But with that Assassin in there, just surrounded by guys, they can't get a good hit on the Assassin, so that's real brutal. And now, Ikit Claw is charging in to help finish off the remains of them. And it looks like that'll be it. Yep. Still some Skinks though. Maybe they could win it. No, they've changed their mind. Fair enough. So yeah, valiant defeat. Beautiful game. Really close game. I think both of them had some brilliant moves in this game as well. I mean, Amovehacker here, he did brilliantly to get into that back line, put that pressure in, not to let the Doom Wheels delay, and he also had a build that could counter the Doom Wheels pretty well. He had some decent units for countering them, and that is so important. But what was really nice is the Cold One Riders, they had a sort of a mixed purpose. They were great at countering the Doom Wheels, but they're also great at countering the back line. You know, just that armor piercing is really useful. So that was really nice to see, and they are pretty quick. You know, not the quickest, but on a map like that, you tend to have a lot of cover with hills and trees and things. So yeah, it worked out wonderfully. But, God, yeah, Aerocrastic, he just made sure that Ikit never got caught out. Ikit was always on targets that he could deal with, and it was just delaying so much. There were so many units just to bog things down that would have been really good damage dealers. Things like the Umbral Tide. They got some amazing damage into the Doom Wheels, but there was always fodder. So in the end, they just couldn't hold out. They couldn't stick around. They had to retreat. And they weren't able to get value anymore. They were just being herded about by, completely inferior units, but inferior units that would have put a big dent in them. you know, if they tried to get into combat with him. So yeah, really, really well played by both players here. Super close match, and just an absolute delight. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and also click that bell. I'm trying to remember to remind people to do that, because apparently not many people have done that on my channel. It's below average, and so let's get that average up, yeah? Click that bell, you know, get notifications and things. Do that thing, you know, if you want. So guys, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Especially if you click that bell. Yeah, then you won't miss one. Yeah, see? There's a reason to it. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a good one.